Welcome to the Mouth Breathers Podcast, your premier location for in-depth Stranger Things commentary. I'm your host, Connor.
I'm your other host, Morgan.
And we actually have a new host today, and it is our producer, Xavier.
Hi, everybody. I'm Xavier, and I'm glad to be joining this season.
Yeah, it's not just for today, it's for the rest of the season. He's always wanted to talk, but we just never let him.
Yeah.
So we felt bad.
We kind of had to include him because, he does provide all the equipment and does all the work. It kind of does everything. We kind of just do nothing.
It's nice that you actually said that, and we have it on recording now. So I'm just going to set that as my new ringtone and just play it anytime you guys
Okay,
want.
I'm really glad that that's the case.
Well, it's never going to happen again, so I'm glad you got it on video.
Yes. And we're very excited just this whole season to just go over and break down every episode of Stranger Things 3 with you guys.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about things like our favorite scenes, favorite characters, possibly even our favorite one-liners, if they let me.
No. It's just going to be a hard pass.
There's a bunch. There's a lot of good parts.
Okay. Do you guys just want to hop in?
Yeah, let's start out with the first scene.
Okay.
The intro.
I'll let Xavier lead off. This is the first episode.
All right, so starting out, this is Season 3, Episode 1, titled Suzie, Do You Copy? And we have a kind of a weird starting, like a weird intro for this season. We actually see, instead of seeing the game, we see a Russian lab where they are experimenting. They have this giant laser cannon, and, well, you see a crack in the wall. And if you're familiar with the last seasons, you kind of know what this crack in the wall leads to.
Let's be completely honest. If they're listening to the podcast about Stranger Things 3, they're familiar with the crack in the wall.
Yeah, they should know.
They should know at this point.
So there's these Russian scientists that are trying to open up the Upside Down and get access to it.
I was super pumped to see that there was Russians involved. I don't know about you guys, but this is an 80s show. They're bringing in Russians. It is the whole era of the Red Army. It was just nostalgic.
Oh, yeah. In the 80s, the Russians are always the classic villains. It's who's the bad guy? The Russians.
Exactly.
Always the Russians. That was a great scene. I really like the part when they played the Russian music in it.
Yep.
Right at the end when
watching the laser explode and just completely annihilate all the scientists, you're like, okay.
And then in the first scene, this is where they bring in the new Russian Terminator. If you've seen the first episode, he is literally the Russian version of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He literally is Walmart brand Arnold Schwarzenegger. You cannot really make it up there, okay? The man looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay?
He picked up a guy.
Yeah.
A whole guy. I don't know.
With one hand.
I know, exactly. I was like, does this guy have superpowers?
Yeah, he was just choking him out.
Yeah, that was a crazy. That was a heck of a first scene to bring everything back.
That was a wild ride, I was not expecting it. I wasn't expecting it to blow up, that was for sure.
Yeah, they had a cool montage of
I wasn't expecting the people to become goop.
Yeah, well, when the laser blew up, all the electricity went to all those people, and it was slow motion. It was they were melting and ripping off their gas masks. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, I was really expecting some 80s synth to start out the show, but no, we get Russian military music.
Exactly.
We're like, oh, great.
It's the
He
beginning.
walked out and looked at off in the distance, and it's the USSR flag, and then it's here's the military music.
Oh, wonderful. But then that leads us into our intro, of course, the great intro that we've been missing.
Oh,
yeah.
Gosh.
So here's one thing I'm just gonna say right now. I never skip the intro. Do you skip the intro?
No. It's
Do you know who does skip the intro? Okay. I saw it last night. Okay, because Morgan was watching Stranger Things. Okay, and I went to his room to say hi to him. And you know what? He's starting a new episode. I don't remember what episode it was. He's starting an episode, and I see him. The intro starts, and this man clicks skip intro. Okay.
I was in a time crunch. I'm trying to finish the season. I had to work out and cook dinner, and I said, skip the intro. I wasn't proud of it.
Wow. Workout, cook dinner. You chose that over Stranger Things.
You're sick.
Over the intro.
I finished Stranger Things within the first weekend. Let's be completely honest.
Yeah, nobody cares about spoilers because everybody's already finished it.
Basically,
So this is. I just want to emphasize, if you didn't tell by the first scene, this is a spoiler zone. Okay. So.
Yeah. We're gonna try not to go into the next episode and leave that for the next episode of the podcast, but But there's definitely going to be spoilers for the episode we're talking about, like, no doubt.
Yes. Anyway, though.
Actually, that would be kind of impossible not to talk about the first episode and not get spoilers, so.
Yeah.
So, after that, we have the amazing intro. It's great. And then you get the best scene of the episode. The best scene of the episode. It was hot. It was
getting hot in here?
Mike and 11L, as she goes by now, are just making out.
We're actually going to go to jail for that first little part, saying that's hot. They're like 14.
I'm going to put you in jail.
You guys are going to jail? I cleverly didn't say anything. I'm using this against you.
You're a smart man.
Thanks, but it was just a lot. We had never seen them kiss like that before.
I'm convinced Mike can't kiss because the whole time his lips are not moving. I watched the episode again today.
Well, I think they're like awkward teenagers, so it's not like...
Well, they're doing a damn good job of making it look like it.
They are awkward. They're actually like 16, though.
Oh my gosh. Isn't Lucas like 17?
The kid who plays Lucas is.
Yeah, the kid... Well, not yet.
But it doesn't matter. He's not in the scene.
They're still teenagers.
Okay, alright. I was thinking about this today, okay? He looks his age that he's supposed to be in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
How big of an idiot... Do you think he, thinks about that when he's in public? He's like, oh, wow, I look like a 13-year-old kid. But then again, he's also, making bank. Lucas, the guy who plays Lucas.
Does not look like he's 13.
I think he does. He looks young for his age.
He has facial hair.
Well, they make him shave
life.
it all off and everything for the show.
He has facial hair?
They make them look younger.
Yeah.
In the show. They have to straighten Mike's hair. The guy who plays Mike's hair.
Okay, Mike's hair is awful.
Yeah, well, I think that's the point.
So
they straighten it out and make him look like he's like a stupid bowl cut.
I love it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna jump back into the scene, okay? Because we've gone off topic, but so they're making out, and it kind of just sets the scene. That's when the first synth hits, and that's when I really know. Okay, this is Stranger Things, but they're making out, and then you see Hopper. He's in his chair watching TV, and he leans back and he sees them making out.
That's a killer scene.
And then Elle just slams the door.
Yeah.
She's done.
I was thinking about this today. The soundtrack to Stranger Things is low-key fire. They have REO Speedwagon and all this 80s music.
High-key fire.
It's high-key fire, dude.
Is this a known fact?
Yes.
Okay, well...
I listened to the soundtrack at work today.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I didn't even know that was...
What's the... Steve's Morning Hair Groups?
Okay, this is just a PSA to everyone out there, okay?
My God.
If you are looking for a new thing to listen to, Steve's Morning Hair Jams or whatever on Spotify is amazing, okay? It's so good. I literally can't make it up enough.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's hot. It's hot. Okay, we should probably we're gonna get back to that plot, okay? Okay, so Hopper sees them making out, then 11 slams the door, and then he's like, 3 inches.
Keep the door open 3 inches.
He goes full dad mode.
He was full dad mode, yeah.
He's full dad mode.
And then
the whole episode, really.
He tries to open this door, and eventually he opens it, and then 11 and Mike just go full dick mode, because they're just sitting there and they're like, what?
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Mike's being a smug little guy right there. He's just like, what?
Yeah, that was a good scene. He's eating, chips and salsa and drinking beer on his recliner.
It's the life.
Classic Hop. Classic.
It's just a side note. The mustache works for Hopper.
Yeah, it's a good look for Hopper.
It's a good look.
Yeah. I wish I could grow a mustache like that.
True.
All right. What's
Okay.
after that? What goes after that?
So after that, we, Mike, what?
I was going to say they go to Starcourt, right?
Yeah, they go to Starcourt. So Mike leaves. He's like, okay, I gotta roll. And so he goes to Starcourt Mall. And this is the first time we've seen Starcourt Mall. Starcourt Mall is it's one of the prime settings for the entire season.
And the first time we meet Erica. Right? Erica's introduced.
Erica is Lucas's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And you see her. She's Lucas's little sister. So they go into Starcourt, and it's kind of like one of those, if you ever seen, what's the name of the movie? Fast Times at Ridgemont High, or really any other high school 80s movie, always have those scenes where they cascade through the mall.
Yeah.
And look at all the people in the 80s clothes, doing all this different stuff, and it's just spot on, just like that.
It's amazing how the mall has changed so much. That's when the mall first started, and everyone's there, everyone's hanging out with their friends and family, everyone's having such a good time. And now if you go to the mall today, it's like a wasteland. There's either there's no one there or people just, it's like they don't care. It's like mindless zombies walking around.
Yeah, now malls are like closing down, like because everybody's shopping online.
You guys are saying that now, but I'm going to the mall this weekend.
Oh, what are you going
Really?
to do?
I'm getting a new outfit. If you think I'm kidding, I'm legitimately going to buy a new Hawaiian shirt and new jeans, and I'm gonna tuck the Hawaiian shirt into the jeans.
Oh my god.
The Hopper? Did
The
you
Hopper
say?
look? Yes.
The
It's
Hopper.
the look of the summer. Okay, that is a little spoiler for later in the season, but
Who said
It's
it's the look
beautiful.
of the summer?
Cosmopolitan.
Okay, that's pretty
Wow,
credible.
okay. Well, we found out that Connor reads Cosmopolitan.
I do.
That's
I will.
cool.
I will shamelessly say that it pops up on my Snapchat every single day, and every single day I click on it.
He takes the time.
I take the time to read
Oh
through it.
my god.
Okay, let's get back. Okay, so they get.
So one thing that they do is they go to the mall, they all meet up and everything, and they sneak in through the back way because they're trying to go see a movie.
Steve's there, and he lets him in.
Oh, this is where Steve.
And that's where you first see Robin too.
Yeah,
Steve and Robin, they're at what's it called, Scoops Ahoy.
Scoops Ahoy.
Scoops Ahoy.
Ah.
It's gonna be my Halloween costume for this year.
They're the best. Scoops Ahoy is great. I
Scoop
love
Squad.
them. Scoop
Too
Squad.
good.
Scoop Squad is the best squad.
They totally
So good.
just like dissed Steve's character by putting him in that dumb ass outfit and making
No,
him serve
he's
ice
awesome.
cream.
Steve's a hero of the show.
We're not going to talk about spoilers. But
I'm
for
not-
right
I'm
now,
not-
Steve's
I'm
a
talking previously in other seasons.
Okay.
Season
yeah.
1 and season 2, Steve's amazing.
That's why it was such a big shock. I was like, you serving ice cream in that thing? It was just
Well, it was a big shock for him too. I mean, he wasn't planning on being there.
But I think that's the point. Is like he was so cool for like all of high school, and now he's working.
Now it's
It was
at an
hilarious.
at an ice cream shop.
it was great. It was a hilarious move.
Okay. Anyway, so they go. Steve lets them in through the back, like this back hallway thing, and they sneak into a movie because they want to see. What was it? Day of the Dead. They want to see Day of the Dead. So it's rated R. They can't see it. They sneak in. They go see it. Okay. They're sitting in the movies, and the power goes out. Wait, does Will touch the back of his neck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Will touches the back of his neck. Okay, and every single time in the whole, I just want to get this out there. Okay, every single time in the entire series, anytime Will feels like a weird sensation on the back of his neck and he touches it, okay, that's when they know something weird from the Upside Down's coming. Okay, of course, every single time it happens, Will's like, I'm gonna neglect to tell anybody about it. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here and just act like nothing's wrong. Will
Okay, yeah.
is trying to kill them.
These kids will like walk around every day like nothing happened, like they didn't watch all these people die, and they didn't have Dimma dogs running after him, and then this big dust ghost monster flew out of Will's mouth. I would be paranoid.
Okay, so power goes out and it cuts to this like building, abandoned building, and you see kind of like this weird dust monster thing come up, and then it just cuts off, and that is like the first big hint about like what's going on with like the upside down element of this season.
Mm-hmm.
Things are happening.
I know it's
And all
it's,
the power comes back on, and everyone's like, back to normal.
You can almost say it's kind of strange, and you could say that these things are getting stranger.
I'm sorry.
I wish you could see their faces because it was
It's the
priceless.
worst thing I've ever heard in my
That
life.
actually physically hurt me.
I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm going to check it to the hospital after that one. That one hurt.
That was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. Okay.
But then after that, it's probably one of the best scenes.
Yeah. Wait, no, it's not. No, you are missing something in your notes. Okay,
Uh-oh.
You're missing the fact that between two really great scenes is one scene that no one cares about. Okay, Nancy and Jonathan wake up and they're late for work. Okay, and let me tell you,
And he has
this is
lipstick
too much.
on his cheek.
He has lipstick on his
Uh-oh.
cheek. What happened the night before, Jonathan?
Does Joyce know they're sleeping? She has
Yes,
to.
she does. She absolutely
The better
does.
question is, does Joyce care?
Joyce
That's-
does not seem to care. Okay, I don't think Joyce
She
cares.
almost lost her kid, like, what, last year? She's like,
okay.
as long as they're alive, she's
Yeah.
fine.
You kids okay? You guys can do whatever you want. You're still
Okay,
alive.
I'm just gonna speed through this scene because I'll be completely honest. Okay, Nancy and Jonathan, this whole episode, they just suck. Okay, like what are they doing?
But Nancy's still hot though, right?
Oh my god.
She's still hot, and she's got that cool.
She's
little
got
hairdo.
she's got a new hairdo, which is actually really cool.
I do like her new hair.
The new hair's cool. So they wake up, they're like late, and then like they're like, and Jonathan's like, well, it's not a big deal if we're late, and then Nancy's like, it's not a big deal for you, and then and they go out, and then Jonathan tries to like kind of like make her feel better, and Nancy's like, I don't need the pep talk, and that's the end of the scene. It's not good. No one cares.
You don't really understand why it's not a big deal for her, but later on in the episode, they really do show you why it's a big deal for her.
Yeah. Their storyline comes along.
But then after
Oh,
is
yeah.
the best scene of the episode.
Now, we can say this one's hot.
Arguable. This one's really hot.
This one's hot, and we can't go to jail for this.
Oh, Xavier, I'll let you describe this one.
So this scene is a callback to Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, if you haven't seen that movie, such a great movie.
I haven't.
Really
Go
good.
see it, okay?
Yeah, it's
so amazing. The pool scene is awesome.
But everyone's at the pool chilling out because, I mean, it's the summer. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But then, of course, all the moms, they're laying down in the beach chairs or whatever, and they're like, uh-oh, he's coming.
It's time.
She's getting off the stand. She's getting off the stand. Get ready. And what do we see?
Who walks out?
Billy.
Billy.
Oh, my God.
Billy.
Walks out. And he is just, the whole world slows down around him. He's just like strutting. Everyone's staring at Billy.
They start playing Moving in Stereo, just like they did in Fast Times at Ridgemont High when the girl walked out of the pool.
He's smoking a
But
cig.
It's Billy.
Got his aviators on.
It's wonderful. And then, of course, he walks by all the moms, and what do they say?
Hey, Billy.
And he's like, hi, ladies. And straight up, it's funny because it's the most like charismatic scene we've gotten with Billy.
With
Billy
anybody.
Billy was kind of robotic last season.
Yeah.
So
He was just robotic and angry,
He was just a
and
dick,
we're like,
yeah.
who is this guy?
Yeah. But now we know he's like the most popular, attractive guy.
Billy slays, all right?
I just want to get this out there, okay? Mike and Nancy's mom is way too into Billy, okay? She's way too into Billy.
The Wheelers are just killing it, okay? Because you got Nancy. Then you got Mrs. Wheeler.
Karen.
They are
Mrs.
hot.
Wheeler. Anyway, though,
I dig the new suit.
he's like, dig new suit, Mrs. Wheeler. And then after that, he just goes on his way and he sits in his lifeguard stand. That's really the end of the scene, except for when wait, no, I think that's later in the episode.
Yeah,
That's later.
Connor was going off on a tangent, earlier this week about how hot Billy was, but unpopular opinion.
He is a good-looking man.
He is a good-looking. He is very good-looking. He's flawless, but
I don't know about flawless.
I don't think that he would be as attractive as he is without the attitude. The attitude, like, really kind of like.
But that's his whole thing.
Isn't that kind of like?
He's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Well, isn't the way you carry yourself, doesn't that tie a lot into your attractiveness?
Yeah, but he's got. I mean, his hair is not. He's got good hair, but it's like it's messy. It's not anything like crazy, and he's got a little mustache.
Morgan, have you ever been on a lifeguard?
Yeah, have you ever been a lifeguard?
Yeah.
When?
Well, that's a lie.
Yeah, obviously. He's trying to cover his tracks here. Listen, you don't know how it feels like to walk out of the lifeguard stand, shirtless, sun's beaming down on you, and you're walking up there. All the moms that are there to have to watch their kids, you're the only action that they get to see. And you take that, you soak
He's
it in,
glistening.
you run with it.
You're gonna tell me moms haven't checked me out before? How dare you? What is the next scene?
He's talking about
Billy and Then Dustin comes back. Our favorite character with no teeth, Dustin. He starts
Only
coming back.
character with no teeth.
It's a really short scene. Yeah, that was the joke. He's the only
It's
character.
not that short of a scene.
Yeah, I could have said my favorite character without collarbones too. That one would work too. Anyways, it's a really short scene. He's like riding in the car and he's coming back from summer camp and he's trying to talk into his walkie-talkie to get his friends to communicate back, and he's getting really pissed off, and it is a killer one-liner. It's a killer one-liner. It's great, guys.
Is it a one-liner?
It is.
Just say the one-liner.
Gold leader back. Pick up the goddamn radio.
Do you even know what Gold Leader is?
No,
It obviously doesn't.
I don't.
Star Wars, my dude.
Star Wars.
Who's
I
Gold
don't
leader?
think, does he say Gold Leader?
You haven't even finished
It's
the
Gold
original
Leader.
trilogy before.
I said gold member earlier today.
Oh my god. Okay, so he gets back home.
Yeah, and then he thinks all his friends abandoned him, but really they're just hiding behind the wall, and they play this really cool trick on him where Eleven is using her powers to make all the robots and toys he's got in his room like walk away. He's freaking out.
Okay, I just want to get off a tangent here real quick. Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, but this makes no sense. Okay, he knows one of his very good friends has powers to move stuff with her mind. Okay, Okay, and he's like sitting there. And he's got the hairspray. He's like, "This isn't real. This isn't like how can you not figure this out?"
He literally saw the Demogorgon and thinks this isn't possible.
This is what's confusing him.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, he's been at camp, right? His mind's been on other things.
Suzie. Oh.
Suzie Q.
Dustin's alleged girlfriend that he reveals to the whole group, and everyone's freaking out. They're like, Dustin has a girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
What? Is this even possible?
Yeah, because she's apparently super hot and super smart.
Yeah, who was she? Who do you say she was hotter than?
It's the girl from Fast Times.
I didn't know who she was.
I don't know who it is.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. He says she's hotter than like a girl from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Phoebe Cates. Phoebe Cates.
I
said
said
she's hotter than Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, Phoebe Cates.
So they are like, okay, let's go meet Justin's girlfriend. They get this like radio tower thing that he built that can like do very long distance transmissions.
Huge
transmissions.
Is Dustin a future engineer? Because oh my god,
I think he is. I think that's the point.
It's
Dustin's
like a
genius,
mini cell tower, dude.
Well, they're all pretty nerdy. Remember?
Yeah.
They're all supposed to be really smart.
Yeah, that's true.
So they go off to set this up, okay? And then it cuts into your finally, okay, the character we've been waiting to see, okay? The best character in the show, Steve, okay? He finally cuts to Steve. And Steve and a new character,
Robin.
Yeah, Robin, okay? And she is played by, what's the name of it's Maya...
Robin's?
She's played by, it's Maya Hawke. She's Ethan Hawke's daughter.
What?
Really? She's not daughter.
I did not know that.
You know what? I know. I looked it up. I was like, this is unreal.
That's
Ethan Hawke's daughter. Yeah, that's an actually cool fact.
Yeah.
So she was played by Ethan. She was fathered by Ethan Hawke, and so you like cutting the scene, okay? And like Steve and Robin are there, and they've got some chemistry.
Well, yeah, you can tell they have chemistry, but it just looks like they're good friends giving each other shit.
They're getting friendly though.
No.
What are you saying right now?
Well, the most important thing about this scene is that Steve is striking out.
Well,
Right?
Steve has lost his mojo.
Steve, the coolest guy in high school, is apparently a nobody.
The king of
after
Hawkins
high
High.
school.
Which is hilarious. It's so funny. All his attempts at the girls are just like falling flat. And the last part right before they transition sings where he's like giving it one more shot to these girls and he's like, "Welcome to Scoops Ahoy, I'm your captain for this flavor journey." I was like, oh my god, dude.
It was the cringiest scene.
Yep.
You're like, Steve, what happened?
I don't know what happened to Steve.
Yeah.
He's kind of fallen off a little bit. His
His hair fall flat.
His hair's still on point, actually, though. Like,
Yeah.
like if we're being completely honest, Steve still knows what to do with his hair. Okay?
And he
like,
talks about that. He's like, this hat's taking away my best feature.
Then he takes it off, he lets it fly out, and then he really scares a group of girls
Yep.
by yelling at them.
Yeah, and she marks down the loser strike.
Yeah.
Also, he goes off on a little bit of a tangent talking about how, he didn't get into college.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get into college, and his stepdad was teaching him a lesson by making him work there, is what he said. But it's
Ouch.
really just kind of a small scene, kind of like getting you kind of acclimated with these characters.
Yeah, it gives them some depth after like
Tells you
the gap.
where they are this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is important
Mm-hmm.
because they're all growing up.
Yeah, they're grown up. It's they're so much different. Like their voices, especially the kids. Like the kids' voices are like I can't keep track of them.
I know
This season, it's just crazy how much older they are.
it's sad.
Sad?
I think it's sad.
Why?
Because the first season was so good and they're all like babies.
But it's the third
You
season's
don't
so
wanna
good
see him grow
too.
up?
Yeah, we
just-
watched them grow up. It's like Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh, is this... No, this isn't our Harry. This is like the new generation's Harry Potter.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's like Harry Potter,
Oh,
but my Harry
no.
Potter's like a good description because we watched the kid. It's like as
Yeah,
their kids, and
yeah.
I grew up.
Yeah,
one
that's
thing.
true.
But I'm younger than the guy who plays Harry Potter, so it's kind of weird for me to say I watched him grow up.
You're younger than the guy.
Daniel Radcliffe?
Daniel Radcliffe's like 30.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. I don't know what I was
Pretty
thinking.
old.
Yeah.
He looks good for his age.
We're going to the next scene.
After this is Hopper and Joyce. They are back at the pharmacy
Mhm.
and they are talking about Elle and Mike's relationship. Hopper is having a hard
A
time.
meltdown.
He's freaking out. He's like, this needs to end like right now. And Joyce is kind of, she's just like, hey, they're kids. Just let them have fun. Just let them enjoy themselves, right? And Hopper's like, oh my god, they're kissing so
Yeah.
much.
Hopper's like, they're having a little bit too much fun, Joyce, okay?
He's not okay with it. And so then Joyce tries to help him write a letter of what he should say when he should have like a heart-to-heart with the both of them.
Yeah. Joyce is a good mom. Let's get that out.
Joyce is a good mom.
She's kind of crazy, but she's always been right.
That's the thing. I'm like, is she crazy? Because if she's right every time, should we call her crazy anymore? I don't know.
You can't. It's like Joyce. Okay, Joyce. There's been 2 seasons. Joyce has seen it coming every time.
Okay, wait. I gotta say something real quick, okay? Because this is one of my only issues with the show, okay? Is I feel like for some reason they always make Joyce right, okay? And don't get me wrong, it makes sense that she was right in the first season, but like, why do they keep having her be right? She has to be wrong about something, okay?
Motherly senses,
dude.
She's just freaking out about.
She knows. Joyce knows. She knows better.
She's freaking out about nothing. Who
Joyce knows best.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just don't get why the second Joyce sees something that is clearly weird, they're not like. It's not like last year or something. There was this big thing just running around killing people.
It's not like there's a giant monster trying to take over the world.
Yeah, there's not any possible way that this thing is still alive.
Like, Joyce, no, you're crazy. Don't. You know what it is? Will, her son, feels this weird tingle, and he's all like, "I'm not gonna tell
his
anybody."
will tingle.
His will tingle.
If anyone gets the reference, I will love you.
But he's all like, "Oh, I feel something weird," but he's not gonna tell anyone. Joyce, she feels something weird. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody about this," but nobody believes her. Nobody cares.
Will's learned it's not worth it. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep all
Maybe
my
that's
feelings
what it is.
to myself.
He sees that nobody
Yeah.
believes his mom, and he's all like, "Might as well just keep it to myself."
I agree, guys. Will is the worst kid of all of them.
How dare you?
That was
How
that was
dare
a
you.
shot. That was a shot.
Taking shots at Will.
Leave Will alone.
I actually think that Will, the kid who plays Will, might be the best actor of the kids. He's really good.
I don't know.
Think of it. I mean, like he
has
pulls
some
off those
intense scenes.
He's got more intense scenes than the other kids, I think.
I think Elle's the
Okay, 11.
Millie Bobby Brown is like
Millie Bobby
literally
Brown
so talented.
and the kid who plays Will are so good.
Yeah.
And then I mean they're all really amazing.
Yeah,
I'll say that. Like,
yeah, wasn't what's his name, Gayton? The guy who plays Dustin?
Dustin.
Yeah, he was on like Broadway and stuff. Like he's like
I know.
certifiable.
I mean the one guy, the guy who plays Mike was in It. The one with
Oh
the
yeah,
clown.
he was in
You know
it.
And
what?
he was the best character.
His
Yeah, he
character
was.
in It is a lot similar to his character this season.
Yep.
He's more he's more
More
it-ish.
brash.
Yeah.
He's more brash and a little more bratty, but I feel like that makes more sense because he's like a teenager. He's
They're
not
getting older.
Yeah, he's not like a shy kid anymore. He's like a 16-year-old. You know, he's a dick.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
But then after this,
Oh, look, I got this one. Okay, after this we get the best scene of the episode. Okay, and that is, it just suddenly cuts to a bunch of rats, and you know all these rats. Well, we have all these weird rats. Okay, and they're all running around and they're freaking out. Okay, and they're going down to a weird basement, and
I can only imagine this is what the Black Plague was like.
they're turning into jelly. Okay, let's just say that. It's gross and it's kind of weird, but one connection I made, and this is the second time I watched the first episode, is that the jelly from the rats looks exactly like this, like the rats when they blow up. Okay, they turn like this like mush. It looks exactly the same as when the Russians got turned into mush at the beginning. It looks like exactly the same. I didn't notice it until the second time I watched it, and I was like, whoa. I'm making that connection just a little bit more.
I kind of saw that too, but I wasn't sure like if there's any sort of connection there.
I feel like there might be a little connection.
Do you think it's because the laser shooting into the wall like somehow brings out the stuff from the upside down?
I think that's what's happening.
Oh my god.
oh, so instead of them being like
I don't.
burned, they're being morphed into like part upside down creature.
It's not like creature. It's more just like they got upside down or something.
They just got turned inside out.
Well,
Upside down.
Upside
It's
down,
like
inside
weird.
out.
It's weird. No, it's weird because they look exactly the same. But I don't think. I think it's a little. I think it has some connection. I don't think it's like a big one because obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think they make like much like connection to it in the season. But I think what happens is when like the rift is closing, it's like that has an effect on it over. It's actually just exploding.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's
yeah.
consistency.
The whole episode, they're just hinting at what this season's villain monster is going to be like, and it's like you're slowly starting to put it together the more they start hitting at it. But then after the bubonic plague strikes, this is the real killer scene. This is where Billy is watching good old Mrs. Wheeler do her backstroke in the water, and he is like a lion going in for a gazelle, and he is going down for the kill. She gets out of the water.
It's over.
He's going in for the kill, man. He's like, I could give you some pointers. And she's
some
like,
private lessons.
Yeah, some private lessons. And she's like, I've seen you teach. I've seen you teach kids how to swim. And he's like, literally, this is the best line of the whole show. I'll go out on a limb. This is the best line of the whole show. He says, I know all the strokes. Freestyle. Butterfly. Wait for it. Breaststroke. It's unbelievable. You can't.
Actually, I thought his line after that was better. When she's like, oh, I just feel like I know like all this. I know everything I need to know about swimming, and he's like, trust me, Mrs. Wheeler. I just don't think you've had the right teacher. This will be the workout of your life.
Oh, okay.
It's a hot and heavy.
It is getting in.
Billy is charming. Okay, I'll just say that.
He literally says, "Let's go to the Motel 8. I know a private pool." Oh my gosh, man! It's unreal, and it's so cool because Miss Wheeler is just eating it up, and she's just like, I can't. Can you imagine, like, just hitting on a woman like that, being like, what? How old is Billy? How old do you think Billy is? Was he like 18, 19?
He has to be out of high school.
He's definitely in his 20s.
He must have like just graduated or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But
a young buck.
Oh my gosh.
A young buck.
Yeah, but I think that line would have been even better if you just would have said breast. If he was just like,
no,
butterfly, freestyle, breast. I think.
No, breaststroke.
No, breaststroke.
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
I don't think you know what you're talking about. This is why you don't write TV.
See, you're not a Billy, dude. You're not a Billy.
Billy. Okay.
How do you guys know?
We
if
all
I'm not
took
a
Stranger
Billy?
Things quizzes, and
We have a pool right out there.
Morgan got a Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm not a Jonathan.
It's a Jonathan.
Jonathan, like, looks like a psycho.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Oh my gosh, dude. But the next scene after this is Dustin and the gang. They go up to the top of the hill. They set up their little radio tower, and they try to communicate with Suzie.
Mm-hmm.
But just like in the scene earlier, where Dustin's trying to contact his friends, nobody responds. Susie's not responding either. And it starts to get a little dark, and everyone's all like, oh, my curfew's coming up, or basically they're just trying to ditch him because clearly she's not going to.
Well, you missed out one important scene was when they were going up the hill. 11 and Mike left early because they wanted to go make out.
Her curfew was at 4.
Her curfew was not at 4. That was a lie. He was like, oh, it's curfew. It's not curfew. Okay, we all know what they're doing.
Kissing without moving their lips.
Some awkward high school kissing. Okay, so yeah, they just ditched Dustin. He's just like looks a little sad.
Poor Dustin.
And it makes me a little sad to see him like that.
No,
I won't lie.
All of his friends leave him.
Do you see yourself in, a little bit in Dustin?
I more see you as that.
That was a killer comeback.
You didn't want that. You didn't want that. So the scene after that, okay, we have Joyce coming home from work, and she's like, "Hello, anyone home?" And nobody's home.
Oh, now this is the real.
This is actually a sad scene. Okay, so we get to this. So Joyce comes in. She makes like this like TV dinner basically. She's sitting there watching TV, like by herself, kind of sad, and it's just cuts to like a scene of her sitting there with Bob. And if you don't remember Bob, last season Bob got eaten alive. So by Demodogs.
Bob was the nicest person in the entire series.
Okay, he was played by who was it? Samwise Gamgee.
Samwise.
And it's like literally like the best character in Lord of the Rings. And then he's once again a super nice guy. And then he just gets eaten.
I think his character in season 2 might have been the best character all season.
No, it was definitely Mama Steve.
Mama Steve.
Mama Steve is the best part of season.
And they carried it on to this season
I
too.
know they did. Okay, well, we're not no spoilers. So, yeah, so she's sitting there. It cuts to like her alone, and she's really sad because he's gone. He's dead.
Bobby's dead.
Bob got eaten, and
which we left out the part where Joyce and Hopper are at the grocery store talking, and he asked her out to dinner.
Oh yeah, she
and
said
then
no.
you find out why she said no. She had plans that night, but really she was just coming home to
I forgot
just
about
hang out.
that. Yeah, good catch.
So really you just You see that she's
She's
really
just not
over
ready.
Bob.
She's just not ready. She's not over Bob. She's not ready to
How?
meet anyone.
With her and Bob, that was the happiest she's ever been, you know? And that just for that to be like brutally taken away from her, I mean, of course it's gonna be scarring.
Right before they were gonna get out. Yeah. Literally right before they got out.
Stopped. I don't know why he stopped. Why would he ever stop?
They were having a moment.
Okay, and then so what ends up happening though? So she's sitting there eating. Okay, then you see some weird stuff going on with magnets on her fridge again. Okay, like they're like shaking, and you're like, what? And then and then it just cuts to the next scene. And so the next scene is once again we're back with Nancy. Okay, and I think we actually forgot a scene with Nancy. I think I just forgot to write down my notes.
Here's the big thing with Nancy's scene, and the one that ties into this one. Nancy gets a new job at the papers, and where Jonathan, he's actually the person that's like finishing up the photos and doing like a really important job for the papers. She is reduced down to the girl that gets their coffee.
She's like the
and
secretary.
I would say even lower than that.
Intern?
She's the intern.
Basically. And she's just completely disrespected from the moment she walks into the moment she walks out.
I'll just say this, okay? I dislike the guys in the Hawkins Post more than I dislike anyone else this entire season. I don't care if it's a spoiler. They're worse than the main bad guy. Like, I cannot make it up. They are such dicks. It's almost unreal.
And it also ties back into their first scene, why she took this job so seriously, why it was such a big deal, because she already knew that going in she was going to be at a huge disadvantage. And it's so obvious, it's super clear here, that she's being treated differently just because she's a woman.
Yeah. It's terrible. But, yeah, don't write off Nancy and Jonathan's storyline just yet.
Yeah, not just yet.
Not just yet.
First episode is but I mean... But one other thing that happens with her at the Post is that she answers a phone call that is about diseased rats. And it's a very short and it's a very quick scene. It's very easily skippable. Like, you'll blink and it'll happen, right? But it does tie into some things that happen later on in the season. So it was something that you want to pay attention for.
So after this, we get back to Dustin sitting there trying to talk to Suzie, and he hears something on the radio, and he's like, Suzie, is that you? It was not Suzie, okay? Next thing he knows, okay, he's hearing Russian music, because it is the Russians back at it again, okay? And he hears like a strange voice on the radio, and he records the voice, and it's some type of Russian transmission, and that's the end of any of the kids for the whole episode.
This is literally like my childhood dream. Can you imagine like playing with your walkie-talkie as a kid and actually finding something like this?
You had some weird childhood dreams, man.
That would be so cool.
I was never trying to find some Russian spies or operatives.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
If I had a walkie-talkie today, if I had a walkie-talkie and I heard some Russian over it, I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother with it. I'm just like, wrong channel.
I'm out of here.
You guys wouldn't try to save the world?
You would not do anything.
If I had some cool...
Can you speak Russian? Do you know someone that can speak Russian?
I could probably find somebody.
I feel like you probably couldn't, okay?
I was going to say something, but it's a spoiler. Anyways, we're going to take you back because we left out a major part.
Yeah, we left out a major part.
Yeah, so when Joyce and Hopper this is actually a killer scene too, so a really good scene. I don't know how we skipped over it. But when Joyce and Hopper are talking about Mike and Elle kissing too much, Hopper decides to talk to him. He decides to sit down and finally have a heart-to-heart. And it's hilarious because they're in their room, just doing their deal, kissing, listening to, REO Speedwagon or something like that.
It definitely was REO Speedwagon.
It was I Can't Fight This Feeling? Killer song. Killer song,
yeah.
So Hopper's like laying in the bed smoking a cig, and he's just gripping a pillow.
Stressed.
Just hyping himself up to go have this, like, it's not a hard talk. He's just freaking out. So he walks in and he's taking deep breaths and he's trying to keep his cool. And Mike is just being a dick.
Oh my god, he's trying to do the talk and Mike's like, he's like telling secrets to Elle.
Exactly, he's like
right in front of him.
Yeah,
right in front of him,
whispering secrets, and they're giggling. I was like, Mike's a dick in the first episode.
Mike's a 16-year-old boy.
I know, and then Hopper just loses it.
Hopper says the worst thing he could say.
It's amazing. He was like, you know what, kid, your mom called. He was like, is
Your
everything
mom
okay?
called.
No. I think that was the biggest shock for me, because usually you're like, yes, everything's okay, but you gotta go home now. He's like, no, everything's not okay.
It's your grandma.
It's your grandma, kid.
Your Nana.
He was like,
Your Nana's in trouble.
Did she fall again? Did she have cancer? He's like, nope. And then
Then what's wrong?
he was like, it's nothing. It's not your grandma. And he just flips.
They get in the car and he just loses his shit on Mike. He's done.
The scene where he keeps locking the door and Mike just keeps pulling the door handle.
You're crazy.
Yeah, he's like, you have not seen crazy yet. He goes full on psycho dad mode.
He's like, what does he say? He's like, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna drive and I'm gonna talk and you're gonna listen. And maybe by the end of this, I'll continue to allow you to date my daughter.
Not if you understand.
Not if you understand.
Not if you understand.
Mike's like,
oh, that was awesome.
that was a great scene.
Such a good scene. You also see that Hopper this episode and this season is on edge. Just
Yup.
on edge.
He's a killer character. And you really kind of get to see the more personal side of Hopper.
He's great.
Because, like, in the first 2 episodes, he was just like a cop, and like his whole role.
The first
pursuing
season
story.
literally talked about how he had a wife and daughter that died.
Well,
so you saw the more emotional side there.
now he's.
Now you get to actually see him try to be a dad. Which
Yeah,
he
he's
hasn't
trying-
been.
He obviously doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, he's more like cemented into that group,
like,
that
he's
friend
like
group.
that badass.
So it's not like
role.
He's used to being a cop for all these years, and to go back into that, something big for him. But the next scene that we get to is Miss Wheeler. She is getting ready to meet with Billy. She is in her bathroom. She's doing her hair. She's putting on her makeup.
She's serious about it.
She takes off her ring. Like,
she's going all out for Billy, right? And then
Billy.
she walks downstairs, and what does she hear? She hears her husband, Mr. Wheeler, snoring on the couch.
That would make me want
And
to leave
she
more.
she looks over, and what she sees,
Her kid.
both of them asleep. Her daughter is asleep on Mr. Wheeler's lap, and they're both knocked out, snoring on the couch together. And then she decides not to go.
oh, Miss Wheeler. Bad
And,
decision.
it's a good scene because I wonder how many married people have gotten that close, but then they had a scene and they realized they don't want to throw it all away.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
That's a good scene.
I liked it.
You wouldn't throw it away for Billy?
I don't know.
For Billy?
I know you would.
But it's kind of a good thing they shouldn't go to try to meet Billy.
Yeah, it's a really good thing because that will
Yep.
lead us into our last scene. This is the last scene of the episode, and it's Billy. He's driving along, looking all smug. Okay, he's smoking a cigarette, of course.
He's like
and he keeps looking in the mirror, and he's just like, "Hey, Miss Wheeler." And he's like looking in the mirror, "Hey, Miss Wheeler." And then suddenly, out of nowhere, something hits his window, and he crashes his car. And from there, that's when weird shit starts happening.
Do you
okay?
think what hit his car was like a part of...
Definitely was.
Okay.
Just drawing him near.
Yeah, so what happens is it's kind of like he touches the window and it's like goopy and he doesn't know what it is. He's like, ew.
Oh,
What
I
is
thought it was
this?
just like a bird or something.
And then he hears like this noise and then he just suddenly gets grabbed and pulled down into this place. And I think it was, I don't remember the name of the building. It's like something Steelworks.
Yeah. But he gets dragged and he's
He's
screaming
dragged,
for his
screaming.
life.
And he's holding on. He's pretty strong. Okay, he
Yeah.
holds on for a long time.
Is that the building that it showed, like when the first scene when the Russians get introduced and they do that flyover? Is that the building?
That's the building when the power goes out. It goes to that building.
Okay.
It's that building.
But the scene of him actually being dragged in and holding on is actually a scene that's referencing the Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness.
Ah.
When he's being pulled into a portal
Evil Dead
and he's
3.
like dragging and screaming.
I was thinking Jumanji.
Jumanji?
Remember when Jumanji, that vine like grabs that kid? Or
That's what you were thinking of.
Yep, and they like tries to pull him into the fireplace. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I remember.
I think that might have been a little bit later though, because I think
That might have been the 90s.
Yeah, it might have been 90s. Yeah.
No, yeah, not the new Jumanji.
No. I'm talking about.
It's definitely old Jumanji came out in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not
Evil
the new.
Dead is more
yes.
80s.
It's the 80s. Yeah, it's the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying
80s
Jumanji came out
references,
after?
yeah.
So do you think the Jumanji scene was a reference to that?
I don't care about the Jumanji scene, dude. I won't lie.
It could have been. Who
It
knows?
was. They probably just wanted to do something cool with the vine.
Man, side note, I watched Jumanji the other day, and it got 3 stars.
Is that why you're all on Jumanji? Because you watched it yesterday?
Please stop.
No, I didn't think it was that good, and I was like, this got 3 stars?
It's not very good. It's not.
What?
It's
It
not
got
as good
3
as
Look it up. 3
I
stars.
haven't seen Jumanji since I was a kid, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But alright, so let's get into our favorite characters. Who was everyone's favorite character this season? Morgan, let's start
this
with you.
season or this episode.
Or this episode, yeah.
Morgan, who's your favorite character?
Man, I gotta give it to Billy. I don't know.
Billy.
It's kind of hard because the first episode kind of revolved around Billy. Like, he got taken in, he, like, you know, got mugged. He had the scene with Mrs. Wheeler at the pool. Like, he kind of stole the episode. It was all about Billy. Billy was my favorite character.
This episode? Alright. Connor?
Guys, Billy was my favorite character too. he's
Say
the
something
best character
different.
of the episode, okay? He really does, like, because it's like, okay, for me it was all of season 2, I hated Billy. I thought he was horrible.
Yeah.
You know, he just seemed like an angry guy, and he really seemed like one-dimensional, okay? This episode kind of, like, really fleshed him out a lot. Like, because I didn't go in expecting Billy to have, like, a huge scene, like, a huge presence even in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought he was just Max's kind of, like, dick brother. But no, like, he is, like, this, like, kind of established him for the season, you know? It really establishes, okay, Billy's an important character. You know, he's more than just, like, this raging, like, guy. He's very much, like, he's, like, charming, you know what I mean? He, like, definitely knows, he's definitely more than what we thought he was, I'd say.
Yeah.
What about you, Xavier?
Gave him depth.
I was thinking, I'm debating on Billy and Dustin, simply because, well, you guys really went into a lot of why I like Billy this episode.
But just honestly, you like Billy the most.
I do like Billy a lot this episode. This is my favorite episode with him, but the thing is, I want to also mention about Dustin is that having that feeling of like, coming back from like camp and everything and trying to just get things back to normal and like be with your friends and being surrounded by them, and him, that feeling that he sees when no one's responding to him, and that look on his face, and he's all like, they forgot about me, they don't care about me, and he's just so sad and heartbroken. But then, you know, he brings it back and he's so happy, and he has that typical Dustin charm that I've been missing, where he's like, he's super excited about everything, and he's like, he goes off and starts rambling about his new inventions and his new girlfriend and everything like that, and you're just like, oh man, I've missed this character.
Dustin's just so good.
He is good.
Honestly, all the kids are so good.
Oh, we talking about the favorite scenes now?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about our favorite scenes. You're
'Cause-
not allowed to say any favorite scenes.
Nope. I think I just came up with another one.
Okay, you want
This
to
is-
start?
I'm gonna go.
We're gonna
this
talk
is
about
my
our
favorite scene.
favorite scenes right now.
On the topic of favorite scenes and Dustin, I think an underrated scene is when they're walking up the hill, and Dustin is like, "Yeah, she's hotter than Phoebe Cates, and she's super smart," but and then they talk about her family being Mormon. They were like, "The people without electricity."
Okay, that was really good. That
hilarious.
was really good. They
And
didn't
then
know what Mormons were.
Yeah, and then he's like, "No, they're not. They have electricity and cell phones, but I'm not Mormon. They would never allow that."
Didn't he say he was like, they're just super religious white people?
Yep. So this is all like a roast on Mormons, and it's hilarious. But I think the funniest part where he's like, it's kind of Shakespearean, Romeo and Juliet. I just thought that was hilarious, and all his friends are like, "Are you kidding me, man?"
Yeah, like
that was just a really good scene. Them walking up the hill, and like it was kind of stale at some parts, but that part of that
part,
scene was good.
It's just fun to see the kids like bouncing off each
Yeah,
other.
I thought it was a good
Stand
scene.
back together.
Yeah.
It was a really good scene.
What's yours?
So my favorite scene, definitely right when they get into the Starcourt Mall and you have like that cascading shot like all around it. It was just so like reminiscent of 80 movies. And this is what I want to bring this up too, because I thought about it before we started recording, and while I was at work today, I was thinking like, you know, one of the things I really like about Stranger Things and what it does better than, I think everything set in the 80s is like, it really like lives in the 80s, you know what I mean? Because like a lot of 80s like TV shows and movies set in the 80s or like 70s or really any like past time now, I guess, they really fall into like that trap where it's like everything's brand new, you know what I mean? Like every time I watch a movie from today that's like set in the 80s, it's like, oh, look at everything, like looks like shiny and brand new and stuff. But Stranger Things, really, the world really feels like it's lived in, and that's what I really liked about the Starcourt Mall scene, was like everything just seemed like it was just like, okay, like this is like, it's from the 80s, it has like the 80s aesthetic vibe, but also feels like authentic too, which is something that it does better than anything, I think.
Yeah, no, that's a really good scene. That's a really good scene. That's a lot of points on that.
Yeah.
I like, My favorite scene, of course, was the pool scene with Billy. Such a good scene.
It was
man.
tempting to say that. It's so good.
It is. I mean, it's the scene. It's the best. Probably the best scene with Billy.
That's definitely arguable.
I don't know. It was my favorite scene with Billy. It shows out his character a lot. Made me appreciate him a lot more just for who he is. But even though like I didn't like him in the last season either, I don't really know if anybody liked Billy.
Nobody liked him.
Nobody likes Billy.
But that scene right there, I was like, all right, I can kind of come around to
I
it.
can get into Billy.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Mrs. Wheeler was trying to get into Billy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Miss Wheeler.
Oh no.
Oh
man.
This was fun.
This is
Man, I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice to be doing this podcast with you guys. I want to say thank you for letting me join you guys this season.
Yeah, of course. We definitely were not forced into it.
Not
No, definitely
one
weren't.
bit. No, this is fun. I'm really glad Xavier. Xavier's probably has more movie knowledge, more film knowledge than me and Connor put together. So it's nice to have him.
Yeah.
I don't really do much other than watch movies, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time doing that.
So he's actually perfect for the podcast.
He is perfect. He's like our brain for this.
Then what would you two be? if
The
you were
muscles.
I'm the right arm. He's the left arm.
Oh, this is a pretty terrible body.
We have huge biceps.
We've got massive biceps. Let me just tell you right now.
Oh gosh.
So I think we're gonna close it out here. Thank you everyone for listening. And what do you guys? You guys got anything else to say?
Just thanks for checking us out. We're gonna have a review and a podcast on season 3, episode 2 next.
Should be out next week.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh wait, one thing. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. And I don't think we have an Instagram, do we?
And YouTube.
Don't have an Instagram, but Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I will leave
yes.
links into the video description to where you can go find us. That's the best place to get updates on the latest videos and latest news. And we would really appreciate it if you like the video and tell your friends about it.
Yeah, give us a share.
Yeah, give us a share. Tell your friends. And I really want to say like and subscribe, but I just feel like such an asshole saying that.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah,
like and subscribe.
Like
Check
and
out the
subscribe.
website for the merch.
There's no merch. There's absolutely
zero
no
merch.
There's zero merch.
Yeah.
Okay, our last podcast got 11 views, so we definitely don't have any merch right now. Okay?
If you guys want some merch, you better start paying. Okay.
We could probably afford one T-shirt that we have to share between the three of us.
We're gonna have a giveaway.
We're gonna have a
Give
giveaway,
away
okay?
one shirt.
What we're giving away is Morgan.
No, and
Okay,
if you guys
can have him.
If any of the listeners out there want to have any certain points they want us to touch on, like for the next episode or episode to the past, we'd really appreciate it, and we'd love to, hear some feedback of
Yeah, let
what
us
you guys
know.
thought about the episode. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to leave a comment about things that you enjoyed about this episode,
Or we
things
missed.
that you want to, things that we missed, references that we missed, we definitely didn't cover everything. So let us know. Leave a comment.
I think that's it. I think it's a wrap,
Yeah.
guys.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Mouth Breathers podcast.
See you next week.